Hey, my husband loves beer, so I made him this pint glass ornament, which is actually a tiny little cake. I'm gonna put it in the tree and see if he suspects anything. I'm Huiwen of Cocobelly Cakes, and I'm gonna show you how I made this. So first, I printed out a picture of a pint glass, which will help me get the size and proportions right. In order to make this an ornament, there has to be some way to hang it. So for the structure, we're gonna need a base to hold up the cake and wire for internal support and to connect to the loop that's gonna be used for hanging it up. For this, you're gonna need a cake board, a wire, and a drinking straw. So first you wanna create a base for the cake. For the pint glass, I found a cookie cutter the size of the bottom of the pint glass and I traced it on the board. After you cut that out, poke 2 holes in it and thread the wire through. Make sure the wires are at least 2 inches taller than the cake since you're gonna need that extra length to make that loop later. Then twist the ends of the wires together. I used floral wire, but next time I would use jewelry wire because it's metallic and pretty and you're gonna see that sticking up at the top of the ornament. Then take your straw and cut a piece that's as tall as the ornament. Slip that over the twisted wires. This will prevent the wires from touching the cake. For the cake, I'm going to cut out 3 circles using a cutter that's about the same size as the widest part of the pint glass. Then we're going to cut it down in height slightly because once you fill the cake and add the outer layers of decorations, you're going to get that height back. I'm actually carving the shape of the glass upside down so it won't be top heavy and topple over as I'm trying to do this. It looks kind of like a cute little milk bottle here. So once the shape looks right, I'll add a ganache between the layers. Since this cake is so tiny and light, I stuck a skewer through it so I had something to hold on to and keep it from falling over as I was frosting it. This part was driving me crazy. So I did a crumb coat, chilled the cake, then a second layer of ganache, and then chilled the cake again. You can use buttercream too, as long as it firms up when it's cold, but I just love ganache because it's really stable at room temperature, is really easy to make, and it's super good. Now that the cake is cold, we can put it onto the structure. Give the board a coat of ganache, take the cake off the skewer, and slip it right side up onto the structure. Smooth a bit more ganache over the bottom to attach the cake and board together. Use it like chocolate spackle glue. And now we have this cute little pint glass, which we're gonna chill in the fridge again. Okay, quick PSA. When you're decorating cakes, it is so important to keep everything cold, and that's why I keep putting my cake back in the fridge so it can hold its shape better and my ganache won't start melting off and all my decorations won't start getting goopy. I've seen so many baking shows where the contestants don't have enough time for their cakes to cool down and all their buttercream and frosting and all their hard work just melts off, or the judges are telling them that they need to decorate this most beautiful cake in the world outside in the summer, and they're only doing this to torture them. So don't torture yourself. Keep everything cold. That's it. I'm going to be using modeling chocolate to decorate our pint glass. It's kind of like clay, but tastes like chocolate. You can learn how to make modeling chocolate in my 2-minute tutorial on my channel. So I'm rolling out a piece of white modeling chocolate to make the top and bottom of the pint glass. Cut out 2 circles, one for the top and one for the bottom. Brush on a little water to help the modeling chocolate stick to the ganache. Trim the circle down if you need to. Then add the circle for the top and pop the cake back in the fridge. So before I put the cake away, I measured the height of it to be 4 inches tall, so I rolled out a piece of modeling chocolate to be at least 4 inches wide and long enough to wrap around the whole outside. Brush some water on the side of the cake, wrap the modeling chocolate around a rolling pin to help wrap it around the tiny cake and smooth it out and cut it to size. Modeling chocolate is nice because you can blend the seams more easily than with fondant. You can warm it up with your hands and work with it like clay, and once it's cooled down and firm, you can cut through it cleanly. Now I'm just adding another layer for the foam that sits on top of the glass. To add color, I'm mixing edible luster dust and a little bit of vodka. Clear vanilla or lemon extract also work. You just need some edible liquid that evaporates quickly. And make sure your luster dust is also edible. Some are not, even if they're labeled as non-toxic. I used a white pearly luster dust for the bottom, and then for the top I'm using kind of like a white gold. For the actual beer color, I mixed brown gel color with vodka. You can see that as I'm painting this, the paint isn't sticking. Since I had the cake in the fridge, some condensation built up, which is causing the paint to bead up. And because I was stubborn, I tried undiluted gel color. I tried just painting the whole thing and hoping it would stay out of sheer will. Then I finally gave in and gave everything a dusting of cornstarch to soak up the moisture, and then finally the paint stuck. Once I laid down the brown, I mixed up some brown luster paint to give it more shine. You'll probably need a few coats of paint. Just make sure you let each layer dry a bit first before putting on another coat. Now just take the wire, bend it over, and twist it onto itself to make your loop. I feel like these type of ornaments always have some glittery accent. We're gonna do this with sugar crystals. You'll want to do this when the paint is completely dry, otherwise you'll have sugar crystals stuck to the wet paint, which won't be good. The final bit is this collar thing that goes on the top. Make a little cylinder out of modeling chocolate and wrap it around the wire. Fix up the shape and add some texture. And to make this really gold, I'm using gold highlighter dust mixed with vodka. It's so pretty, but definitely note that even though this stuff is non-toxic, it should definitely not be eaten. And we're done. Look how cute it is. I love it and I want to make more drinks, maybe like boba or coffee or something.
You can eat it, right?
Can I get a beer with it?
Hope you enjoyed this video, and I would love to know if you tried making your own ornament cake. Don't forget to subscribe to see more fun cake projects and tutorials. Happy caking!